Sorry.
Introduction. Introduction. Why do things not continue to move at constant velocity? If the sliding book slows down, what's the force responsible? Friction is the resistance to movement of one body on another body. The word comes to us from the Latin verb fricare, which means to rub. The bodies in question may be a gas and the solid aerodynamic friction, or a liquid and the solid liquid friction. It is well known phenomenon that anybody which is in the state of motion horizontally anywhere on the earth, left on its own, automatically comes to rest after traveling some distance. This is due to friction that acts between the bodies which are in contact. When viewed microscopically, friction is a complicated phenomenon. But this phenomenon was studied experimentally on a microscopic scale by scientist Leonardo da Vinci. The fundamental experimental laws that govern friction of solid bodies are quite simple. They are usually named for Coulomb, who formulated them in 1875. Much of his work was built on earlier work by Leonardo da Vinci and Amontons. Is equal to mg sine theta by m. That is equal to g sine theta. Causes of friction. Definition. When one surface slides over another. Causes of friction. Definition. When one surface slides over another or has a tendency to, a force parallel to the interface acts on the two surfaces which resists the sliding. This force is called friction. The opposing force which comes into play tangentially between two surfaces so as to destroy the relative motion between them is called friction. Causes of friction. What causes friction? This force is due to roughness of the surfaces, the tiny bumps and valleys on a surface that prevent one surface from smoothly sliding over the other, and the intermolecular attractive forces between the surfaces. The intermolecular forces are forces between the molecules of one body and those of another. So, friction is ultimately electromagnetic in nature. The normal reaction is also the result of all the electromagnetic forces between the molecules at the surface of one body with those of another. In fact, if one body exerts a force F on another, the component perpendicular to the surface of contact is called the normal reaction, and the component parallel to the surface which opposing their relative motion is called friction. Advantages of friction. The advantages of friction can be understood if we imagine the situation when friction is absent. The surfaces in contact will slip on each other without opposition in the absence of friction. This may produce undesirable and dangerous motions. Friction is very necessary to produce a controlled motion. The following are few examples. 1. Safe walking on the floor is possible because of friction between floor and the feet. 2. Nails and screws are held in the walls or wooden surfaces due to friction. 3. Friction helps the fingers to hold the drinking water tumbler or pen. 4. Vehicles move on the roads without slipping due to friction, and they can be stopped due to friction. 5. The mechanical power transmission of belt drive is possible due to friction. Disadvantages of friction. 1. Due to friction, there is large amount of power loss in machines and engines. 2. Due to friction, wear and tear amount of power loss in machines and engines. 3. Due to friction, some energy gets converted into heat which goes as waste. Methods of reducing friction. The friction can never be completely eliminated. It can be reduced by following methods. 1. Polishing. The friction can be reduced to some extent by polishing the surfaces in contact. 2. Lubricants. Materials used to decrease friction are called lubricants. Surfaces slide more easily on grease or oil films. So friction between machine parts is also decreased by continuous circulation of heavy-duty oils. Air also can be used as a lubricant. A compressed layer of purified air between the machine parts decreases the friction very effectively. 3. Using ball bearings. The rolling friction is less than kinetic friction or sliding friction. This fact is used to decrease friction by employing ball bearings. Friction between soft surfaces is very high. That is why ball bearings are made of hard steel, etc. 4. Streamlining. Automobiles, airplanes, etc. are streamlined to reduce the friction. Objectives. To understand the concept of angle of friction. To understand the concept of angle of repose. Angle of friction. The angle made by the resultant of friction and normal reaction is called angle of friction. Consider a body of mass m is placed on the inclined plane. The normal reaction exerted by the plane on the body is n. Let F be the friction force between the body and the inclined plane. Let R be the resultant of N and F. Let phi be angle between R and N. From the figure, tan phi is equal to F by N is equal to mu S. Since mu S, N is equal to F. Then tan phi is equal to mu S, equation 1. Therefore, angle of friction phi is equal to tan inverse mu S. Two. Angle of repose. When a body is about to slide down on the inclined plane, the angle of inclination of the inclined plane is called angle of repose. Consider a body of mass m is placed on the inclined plane. The component of weight mg sine theta acts down along the inclined plane. When the body is about to slide, the static friction force acts between the body and the plane. Therefore, mg sine theta is equal to Fs, that is equal to mu Sn. mg sine theta is equal to mu s mg cos theta, since n is equal to mg cos theta. tan theta is equal to mu s, equation 2. Angle of repose, theta, is equal to tan inverse mu s. Compare the equation 1 and 2. In the case of inclined plane, angle of friction is equal to angle of repose. Motion of a body on smooth inclined plane or inclined plane without friction. Objectives: to derive an equation for the acceleration of a body sliding down an inclined plane without friction. A is equal to g sine theta. The velocity acquired by the body when it reaches bottom of the plane. V is equal to square root of 2gh is equal to square root of 2gl sine theta. The time taken by the body to slide down the smooth inclined plane through a length L starting from rest t is equal to square root of 2L by g sine theta. One. Body sliding down. The acceleration of a body sliding down an inclined plane without friction. Let us consider a smooth inclined plane AB at an angle theta to the horizontal. Let a body of mass m lie on the inclined plane. When angle of inclination is greater than the angle of repose, the body moves down. Weight of the body, mg, acts vertically downwards. The weight of the body, mg, is resolved into two components. A component mg cos theta perpendicular to the plane, which is balanced by the normal reaction n is equal to mg cos theta. B. An unbalanced component mg sin theta down the plane, which causes the body to slide down. Therefore, if A is the downward acceleration of the body, then the net force on the body, F net, is equal to F minus Fk. That is, Ma is equal to mg sin theta minus 0. Therefore, A is equal to mg sin theta by m. That is equal to g sin theta. The acceleration of a body sliding down an inclined plane without friction, A, is equal to g sin theta. The velocity acquired by the body when it reaches bottom of the plane. If L is the length of the plane, and if the body starts from rest at A and attains the velocity v when it reaches the bottom B of the plane, then using the equation v square minus u square is equal to 2as. U is equal to 0. S is equal to L. We get v square is equal to 2al. But A is equal to g sin theta. Therefore, v square is equal to 2 of g sin theta into L. Or v is equal to square root of 2gl sin theta. V is equal to square root of 2gh, since L sin theta is equal to h. Thus, the velocity acquired by the body when it reaches bottom of the plane is independent of the inclination of the plane and depends only on the vertical height h through which the body is falling. The time taken by the body to travel through a length L on the inclined plane. If t is the time taken to travel the distance s with initial velocity u is equal to 0, then from the equation v is equal to u plus at. V is equal to 0 plus g sine theta of t. Therefore, t is equal to v by g sine theta, or t is equal to square root of 2l g sine theta by g sine theta. T is equal to square root of 2l g sine theta by g sine theta square, or t is equal to square root of